this is marked as easy problem. Given an array of nums containing n distinct numbers in the range 0 to n, return the only number in the range that is missing from the array. Let us say if given an array n equals to 3, that means all the numbers inside this array should be ranged between 0 to 3, including 0 and 3. So when we look at this problem, the first thing that comes to our mind is to sort the array and find the missing number. Of course, it is easy, but we don't want to do that because it takes n log n time complexity to sort the array. But we are supposed to solve this problem in the time complexity of O of n. So we are not going to use sorting method. There are two ways to solve this problem. One is by XOR operation. But before I explain the XOR operation method, I'm going to explain the first method. Let us say, for example, take an input array of 3. That means n equals to 3. So according to the question, all the numbers inside this input array should be ranged between 0 to 3 included. So let's expand this into an array. That means we're going to get 0, 1, 2, 3. So this array contains all the numbers from the input array along with the missing number. That means if we can subtract this input array from this, we are going to get the answer. Let us try to subtract input arrays element by element. That means let's, for example, in this case we can omit 0, and then we can do this like 1 minus 3 and 2 minus 0 and 3 minus 1. So we get the reminders minus 2, 2 and 2. So if we add all these numbers, we're going to get the answer which is equals to 2. Similarly, let us solve example 2 where n equals to 2. That means the range should be 0 to 2 included. If we expand this 0, 1, 2, and let's omit 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1, plus 2 minus 1 is 1, we got the answer 2. Similarly, we can solve this example 3 where n equals to 9. That means we get the numbers from the range 0 to 9. Basically what we are trying to do is adding up all these numbers, which is 45. We can also use the formula to add the numbers where 0 to n. Suppose if n equals to 9, that means we can use the formula n into n plus 1 by 2, which is 9 plus 1 by 2, which is equals to 45. If we add all the numbers from the input array, we are going to get 37. If we do the math, 45 minus 37, we're going to get the answer 8. Okay, let's dive into the code. To understand the problem, let's take an input array 3, 0, 1. We have to process all these elements. So we create a for loop, range based for loop, where we create indexes 0, 1, 2. So this line we are adding 1 to the indexes. That means it produces 1, 2 and 3, to which we are going to subtract elements from the input array, which are 3, 0 and 1. So initially we have the remainder assigned to 0. So if we do the math, we're going to get minus 2 as a remainder. Add this to the next element, minus 2, and we get 0. Add this and we get 2. At the end of the for loop, we got 2 as the remainder, which is our answer. We are going to return remainder as the answer. Let's try and execute this to check if the test cases are passing. Let's run. So all the test cases have passed. We can also submit this, and you can see all the 122 test cases have passed. Now we will try to solve this problem using the XOR operation. Even though both methods are similar, but XOR operation is more efficient simply because it is performing an bitwise operation. This is the method 2, where we are solving the problem by using the XOR operator. So previously, if you take the code, if you look at the code, previously we had plus and minus operands here, right? But we replace those operands with XOR operations. But how does it manage the addition and subtraction here? Let us say because this needs to be taken out from this part, but we are using the same operands at both the places. To understand this, XOR operation is very tricky. Sometimes it performs plus operation, sometimes it performs negative operations based on the numbers. So let's understand XOR operation. If you XOR any number with itself, let us say A XOR A, we are going to get 0. That means it cancels out whatever the value we are XORing with. But let us say we are XORing with A and B, then we might get a value of X, let us say. And if you perform the XOR operation with the result and the same number B, you're going to get the previous number. That means whatever the operation that is performed here, in the next operation, if you do it with the same number, the previous operation is going to be undone. Now let's take 1 0 0, which is 4, and 0 1 1, which is 3. If you do an XOR operation, you're going to get 1 1 1, which is 7. We are going to XOR 7 with 3, then which is 1 1 1 0 1 1. We are going to get 1 1 0 1 1 0, and 1 0 is nothing but 1. That means you got 4. So whatever the operation we performed here, in the next step, if you do the same operation with the same number but with the result, you're going to get the previous value. Using this concept, let us solve our problem where we have to process this input array where is 3 0 and 1, and we're going to OR with 0 1 2 3. Let us say if we do XOR between these two numbers, right, 3 XOR 0, let's say we get a value of X, and then we are trying to do an X. So this is a remainder. With this remainder, we process the next number, which is 0, and if we do the XOR operation, that means it should cancel the previous operation. That means we should get 3 back. Now with this remainder, and you perform an XOR operation with this one, the next element, and you're gonna get maybe Y, right? And this with this reminder, use the next element, which is 1. That means you perform XOR operation with between Y and 1, you're gonna get 3. Next you perform XOR operation between the remainder 3 and 2, the next element is 2. Let's say you could get a value of Z, and then the only number that is remaining is 3. Let's say with Z, if you perform an XOR operation with the 3, what you're going to get? You're going to get T, which is our answer. So this is how it is going to perform XOR operations recursively to get the final result. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.